Hello everyone and welcome to the 16th round of the Speed Force Racing GP4 division. My name is Training Well and I will bring to you the GP4 series today, where we have a new championship leader in coming into Brazil in South America. From the Netherlands we have moved on to Brazil, where we will have a dry qualifying and a full grid this time, so that should be pretty funny at the Autodromo José Carlos Pache track, I think it is. We're gonna look through the standings first because we have a new championship leader, and that's Eric Slim with 4 wins, and he has 202 points after his win last week, and he also did win in Singapore, taking advantage of the absence of Die 36. It is now on top of the league with a 11-point advantage to Die. Die has 5 wins instead of 4 for Eric Slim and is only 11 points behind. And the last 3 races he participated in, he won 3 times, so we should expect a battle between them. Peldigaris is third in the standings, but hasn't joined us for the last 3 weeks. In 4th is NSR MCFC, 5th is Cox. They are on the same tally, so after today we will have someone in P4 with more points to, or maybe not, if they both retire. 6th is Shadow Lancer, and 7th is Unbeaten Sign, 8th is Glass, 9th is Paul, and 10th is Hunter. For the constructor standings we have Williams, who is, if you only look at the wins, dominating this division, but they have only a 13-point advantage to Aston Martin. And Aston Martin have only won 2 and Williams have won 6 races this season. Unbeaten Sign is doing the wet weather or wet tires test. I don't know if Ben have chosen Unbeaten Sign now to try them, but it's always funny to see, of course. Alfa Romeo isn't really in contention anymore, since Peldigaris isn't racing for 3 weeks already. They have really dropped off for that championship. So they are in 3rd place with 3 wins. So it's all between Williams and Aston Martin in the GP4 series, as Mindful was the first driver to cross the line with 110.134 on the medium tires. And we will go to Eric Slim, who sets the fastest lap time with a 107.9, and I'm sure that's a pretty quick time at Brazil. I'm just in time crosses the line with a 1:8.6. He put it on pole last week in the Netherlands, I believe. Yeah, I think he did. But knowing I'm just in time for this season, he just doesn't seem to have the race pace and also the luck factor to score well. Looking further down is Ryan van Doom. Takes an interesting line to get out of the way, got reset on track by the game, not himself, with 109.0 on the soft. As Paul was retired, so that could be a qualifying ban, not sure. Potch is currently P4 with a 9.3, as Netty now goes to P2 with 108.1. Energy Dan has gone to 6, Mindful was 7th, and Sonic are currently the slowest. And Unbeaten Sign is gonna finish the lap a 119.1 on the intermediate tyre. I think that's a great banger to put later on pole position on the same set of tyres. Then Keach the LAA, if I pronounce it correctly, is new for us. He is reserving for us today in the car that the car should be in, and he puts it on P5, 108.8, a pretty solid lap time. And we have also another reserve today, which is in P13, Biff619. Sounds like a great password, but he has retired. I don't know if he crashed out or just put the setup on and retired immediately. So we've also Rob Williams on P3, I didn't mention it, but he has also retired. He may have crashed out. Not really sure. Shadow Lanza has gone up to P4. From the top 7, he is Shadow Lanza 6 and haven't got a win yet. So with 4 races left, I believe. There's still a chance, but it's getting harder by the time, of course. Then goes for another flyer, and he improves by, yeah, let's pretty much say 2 tenths from 108.8 to 108.6, just slightly behind his teammate. Dye goes to the top with a 107.4, moves almost half a second clear of championship rival Eric Slim, who has put it on in the mediums in his garage. We will take a look. Let's go follow Hunter for this lap. He has on the mediums. We usually see from the Aston Martins that they will always try to qualify on the mediums, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it really doesn't. But Hunter has a clear track in front of him. He has cars in the second sector, but I'm sure they will get out of the way and not impeding his lap. That's why he didn't go out immediately with those set of tires. .50 is the time on the second sector. The guy is in front of him. He gives him a little bit of a slipstream, and Hunter will go to P9. It's just 2 thousandths quicker than WSL, and I'm sure that was all because of the slipstream. And WSL is in front of him. But I'm quite sure the soft tire is the tire to qualify on if you want to try have a good grip position. And Sonic Hall is up to P5. He did 4 laps on soft, so I presume it was a bit of a practice run, as I'm just in time goes to the top with 1.07.2, moves 2.5 tenths quicker than Diver 6. Who's preparing for his final run. As I see Ryan Van Doom trying out the medium tire. He usually doesn't qualify into the top 10, but Brazil is a track that quite a few drivers like, as it's kind of a go-kart circuit, and sometimes really doesn't like it. But this lap isn't the lap that will bring Ryan Van Doom any favors. Then we'll move on to Poch, who is really close to his previous lap time. Was also on the soft, I believe. Has found 8 tenths in the second sector. And now it's all in straight line to the start finish straight. Just the closest line available, and moves up to P5 at 108.2. and beats Rob Williams because of that. Natty is on a second flyer, I believe. So we'll stay with him as he's pretty much the only one on the lap. Being inside is also on a lap. I believe he just crossed the first sector. And the purple second sector for Natty, who I believe was very close to a podium last week. I'm not really sure. Let's see where Natty will go. He goes to P3, 107.5. And beats Eric Slim, who is going out on the mediums. But we'll firstly go to Unbeaten Sign. Crossing second sector now. He of course did. Oh, he did pretty much an Ayrton Senna from 94, crashing at the actual last corner. So he's out. So we'll move on to Eric Slim, who is running on the medium tire. But it's 3/10 slower than his time on soft. As Hunter is starting, Hunter his teammate starting a soft run. Moves Eric Slim into the pits. He tried it of course, but it didn't succeed for him. That we will have Dai, who was going for another run, and he will try to put it on pole and try to make it not too difficult for himself. Energy then moves back into the top 10 with a 108.089 to put his Mercedes up in P6. Sonegal will also try it on the medium tires. Let's see if he can succeed. Then let's go move on to Dai, and he improves his time, but on his position is just 170,000 slower than I'm just in time. Then we'll move on to Hunter, who jumps above his teammate. 107.7 is 1.5 quicker than Eric Slim. The difference are really close here. Brazil is a short track, as you can tell by the times we have on the board. Let's move on to Mindful Wasp. Sonegal. Sonegal is really close to his lap time, I believe. I don't really see it, but firstly go for Mindful Wasp was in front of him, but he isn't. WSL goes to 4th with 107.6. And Sonegal does improve, but not into the top 10, unfortunately. Who is next? Mindful Wasp. 3 turns up on his time, that will put him into the top 10. I think it's just I thought it was the 4th row, but it will be the 5th row. By just beating SFR Potch, who is ahead of him on track, and will try to beat him. I think we will just follow Eric Slim, as I don't see any on a quick time at the moment. Eric Slim is half a second up on his time. That would theoretically put him onto the second row in the grid. And the most important thing is that he is with Die and, if it depends on him, ahead of him, and that's what he has done. 400 faster than his championship rival and puts him up to the front row. And I think Eric Slim has now to wait and see if he will start ahead of his championship rival. He goes to Dan, our reserve for today. Oh, 8.3 moves up to P12. It's just not enough to move into the top 10. Mount Force has gone for another run. Will he get a row ahead exactly from 9th to 7th? You only see Uriel Glass currently on lap. Yellow. That was for Natty or Vega Span. Dyer started his lap. Let's see if he can put it on pole. Hunter is on the lap. Urglass isn't. We will look at Eric Slim if he can snatch pole away from him just in time. His second sector wasn't positive and he moves into the pit, so he abandoned his lap. So we will go to die 36 as Hunter moves up to P4. And will Die stay in the Aston Martin sandwich? No, because he goes to pole position currently. And I'm just a time just 2 fouls above this time, but he invalidates. So he will throw away the potential pole position, and that will go to Die. A Shadow Lancer has crashed. We can look from Die's on board. Oh, that was a worse one, or a bad one, or my English. Die. Will he get it in 107? No, he just lost it in the final sector. We have Ryan van Doom on the lap, but he isn't improving. Who is on the lap? Yeah, only Sonical seems to be on the lap. Potch gets out of the way. Oh, it's half a second up on this time. Oh, and he drops it. Unbelievable stuff. And the game resets him on track. I hope that Potch didn't got a heart attack from that. So the qualifying has been set, I believe. So the glass is just coming into the pits and not going for a faster lap time. Oh, I see a grid penalty being handed out. Dive 36 puts it on pole position, 1:07.164, and just in time second, Eric Slim in third. Hunter in P4 and Natty with a grid penalty. He will stay in the top 10, but a few rows to the back, let's say. Unbeaten Sign starts 6, we yourself will move to the further on the grid, but he qualified in 7th place. Euroglass finishes in 8th, steady qualifying for the McLarens. Potch 9, Mindful was 10, Energy Dan 11, Rob Williams 12, Dark Dan 13, Sonic 14, Shadowlands 15, Ryan Van 16, and without the time I have Biff, Paul, MCFC and Gox. So we will move on to the race. I don't know what the weather is, and it's going to be overcast, but it's dry. It's dry. It's not soaking wet as we have seen in 2016 and in 2003, I believe, which were pretty much chaos. And in terms of tires, I don't really know the strategy, to be honest. From what I remember from previous experiences at Brazil, it's a soft medium, but I haven't seen much races as so far that have been fully green, so maybe strategy isn't really an option, to be fair, or an option to consider. It's just picking your right moments and be on the tire on the best time. And sometimes it's not really who's the fastest, but who has the overall package, let's say. The formation lap is gonna start right now, so we're gonna look at the tires with the top 10, of course, all on the soft tire, which they must do, as Euroglass is doing a pretty good job to disqualify already. It's only a joke. On the 6th row we have Energy Dan and Rob Williams, both starting on the medium tire. Then Sonigal on the 7th row will both start on the soft, but the row behind them have different tire choices, with Shadowlands the only one to start on the hard tire. That is an interesting one, so he will probably go very long, and maybe when the pit stops come, helping his teammate out. Ryan Van behind Shadowlands will start on the mediums. Biff, our reserve for today, will start on the soft tires. P18 is for Paul, who I expected more, to be honest, but he didn't set a time. But he has got phenomenal race pace in that row, and in 19th and 20th are MCFC and Gox, both fighting or currently tied for 4th in the championship, but they are at the back, so that they usually go all the way up to first position, or at least podium. The drivers are going into their grid slots, and that will mean with the Brazilian Grand Prix is with a few seconds away from us, but this is going to be a fun race at Speedfast Racing GP4, with the last few races left in the 10th season of Aston Martin. The lights are coming on now. The lights are off and we are underway for the Speedfast Racing GP4 division at the Brazilian Grand Prix. As I'm just in time lost completely, the car puts the area glass out. That is such a shame for the McLaren driver. and I'm pretty sure he's going to be very mad on what happened. I saw him just in time losing the car and then crashed into one of the Aston Martin. It should be Hunter, who started a little far back, and then I think other glass collided with him. But the stewards have to take a look at that, so they're already busy. So that's one car less, and we didn't really have the start to really take a look at. But the most important thing is that we have Dai and Eric Slim in P1 and P2. So let's see how much of a dogfight they want to put on for us. Oh, Potter's retired. What happened to him then? Oh, he crashed out. That's pretty weird. I think he got a touch from just in time or so. I think it was. I was thinking it's really no. Then. So a lot of drivers are coming into pits. As we as hell is up to P3 and wants to chase Eric Slim. Bottas left the session, so we lost two in two drivers from different accidents. So if we have the top 5, then we have a gap to Mindful Watts with P6, and he has been chased by Nettie, who started from the front row, no, the second row, but dropped to P7. I think because of that incident of I'm just done. Energy then just again unlucky at the start, with Hunter putting on the hard tire and then our reserve at the back. Talking about reserve, we have Biff in the top 10 currently, so he's doing the job for Mercedes in the early stage of the track. Oh, Mindful was and Nadia battling, and we will see a lot of overtaking. Was that a clever move from Nadia? Yeah, that was a track extension my Mindful was, but doesn't really matter. You look at DRS and will he get to move to the outside? Oh, they're on the grass! Oh, that could have been completely wrong. But luckily they stay on their feet, and we will take a look to P13 as Shadowlancer and Gox. Now, we know Gox is very aggressive and wants to go around the outside of Shadowlancer and contact between the two. And Shadowlancer defense. We go to WSL, who is looking like to pressurize Eric Slim, and that is music in the ears for Dai in the first laps. DRS is available, but Eric Slim has also DRS, so it isn't really helping WSL as MCC has retired after an must be an incident with Shadow, no, with Cox. So, don't know if these are bike games, but MCC is off and safety car hasn't been brought out. As I'm just in time, while I'm talking, was moved up to P4. And now has to stay calm as Biff and Ryan Van Doom are battling. And Ryan Van Doom defends against Biff. And Cox puts again on the soft, that's what he usually does. So we'll move back to the front of the pack with the top 3 battling with 3 different manufacturers. No, I'm lying, 3 different teams, as the top 2 have the same engine, of course. Well, 4/10 is a gap where we can see some overtakes. Will Eric Slim go around the outside of Dai? Dai doesn't let that happen, and he wants to have a good run coming out of the Senna asses. We go on board with him, and no moves seem to be there made. but we will see a lot of overtakes tonight. Yeah, that's so far, as it looks very very close at the rear of Ryan Van Doom with Biff, Rob Williams and SFR Paul joining the battle for 9th. Goes pretty wide with this section. And we go back to the front again with the blue, green and blue car. Oh, Ericsson really has a good run, but Dai is just too far away from him currently. Oh, a moment for Slim. That is an invite for WSL. WSL is on the inside, and I think he has second place. Yes, he does. P2 it is for WSL after a mistake coming out of turn 2 from Alex Slim, and he pays the price for it. No move seem to be made for 9th. Ryan Van Doom runs wide through turn 8, I believe it is. Takes also a wide line into 10. And oh, that's a bad exit of Ryan Van Doom, and he pays the price for it, but Ryan Van Doom will have the DRS. So he's vulnerable. It is. Oh, and there goes Rob Williams. Oh, he thought about it. But now we have Eric Slim back into second place. But WSL doesn't want to give up on that side by side. But I think Eric Slim does it and slightly touch on the rear. But he got it. He absolutely got it. Ryan Van Doom goes defensively, and he's just making himself difficult, and the Mercedes goes for the move, but oh, almost ended up in a crash, but a crash was behind between Rob Williams and Paul. And Shadowlands sees Rob Williams in front of him, so hey, hello, I can battle with you, Rob. So we have the situation which we had 2 laps ago, with Eric Slim in second and WSL in third. Oh, Biff has now overtaken Ryan Van Doom. Whoa, they're going side by side. Oh, how is there not contact made between the two? But second try, no, Ryan Van Doom was DRS, so for this, from now on he will have the position from P9. That is still a really close game between the top 3, as I'm starting to close in. It was a gap of 2 seconds and it's now only 1.2. So he's closing in, and he just seems to have the really good race pace, as I'm pretty sure is looking more behind than in front of him. As Nettie is coming towards him, and here goes Ericsson. He is going to take over the lead, and he does it. So Dai wants to have that place, and Ericsson gets a penalty. That's the first penalty, as Nettie also has a penalty, and same as for that. But here goes Dai. He now has DRS, and wants that first place back. Ericsson a little bit of ground, but WSL wants to go with him, and does he want to make 2 moves at one? Still side by side they're running, and WSL also gets it penalty, but they're still side by side through the second sector. It's unbelievable. Still side by side. And now Dyer's got the place, I believe. Oh my god, they're still side by side. This is fantastic. Going into the last corner. Also side by side. No. Now we also got the position, but look at, I'm just in time. He is joining. And now go dive for a second try. And he now will get the place back. But will the more moves have been made? Yes! Because Eric Slim goes to the inside of WSL. Also side by side a little bit, but now there's an invite for I'm just in time, but his exit got a little bit blocked by Eric Slim, to be fair. And Eric Slim is showing to Eric Slim that he is there. Mindful has moved into the pits, but will stay with the bubble at the front. As that was just some incredible racing between Dai and WSL. For me, already my favorite moment of the race. So it will be difficult for the other drivers to beat that. Oh, as Biff has spun. Probably had a touch with Ryan Van Doom as they were battling quite aggressively. We also getting close to the stage that the soft runners have to pit for the mediums. No pit stop being made on this lap. And WSL. Oh, Dai makes a mistake! And WSL has been handed over the lead. And Dai will have DRS, I believe, yes. But WSL will have the position for this lap, as Ericsson is really close to the rear of Dai. And this is the championship battle we want to see. But I'm just in time for now chilling at the back of the group as they're going really closely through this more slower section. As we funny enough have also a Aston Martin and a Alfa Romeo battling for P15 with Dan and Hunter. But they are now just crossing the first sector split. Oh, we have the first pit stops with WSL moving into the pits and Eric Slim is following him. So will Eric Slim do the undercut? For him, we just follow WSL. Well, Daya asked also a penalty. Mediums for Eric Slim, and WSL pits for another set of softs, so he's committing to a two-stop. Ooh, that is interesting. And where will they end up against Ryan Van Doom? Ryan Van Doom will go ahead, same as Paul. Oh, and Rob Williams will be very close with Eric Slim, and he will get in front. And will Rob... Oh, Eric Slim with an aggressive move Rob Williams into 4. And that was a really important move, otherwise he would lose too much time to WSL. But WSL is now stuck behind Paul and Ryan Van Doom. And they themselves are battling for 5th position. WSL needs to be patient, but he wants to go around the outside of Paul. I don't think that's going to work out. Well, we have seen with Dai, he can do that. As Dai moves into the pits and I'm just in time stays out. And WSL with the move up to P6 and will get a lovely slipstream and DRS from Ryan Van Doom. With also Nettie into the pits. Oh, that was really dangerous. Oh, and again contact made. And again and again and again. And WSL is unbelievably aggressive. He really wants to be ahead of Ericsson, and I understand. But Ericsson has now also jumped ahead of Dai, so the undercut has worked out as it goes 3 wide in the 4. Oh, and Ryan Van Doom. Oh! Yeah, Ryan Van Doom is out. Oi, oi, oi. And will we get a safety car out of Paul? That's awful, and he spawns also. We have a safety car. We have a safety car, and is this helping out Sonic Hall? And I'm just in time. I think I'm just in time. Just has a free pistol. Just look at the cat. He has the VSL. It's just 23 seconds. So and if he just picks for the medium, then theoretically he can go to the end. Medium he does, and Sonical also bet, so it's for the top two. I'm just in time, and Sonical a free pit stop, and I'm just in time will move in front, very close, but VSL will see I'm just in time ending up in front of him, and I'm just in time is your race leader. He just has Oh, I think that was all going without any content made. If you just look at the front wings, we'll check them. Then get a 5-second time penalty with Cox. We can take a breath for now at least. That was some incredible racing, but we did with Ryan Van Doom. I have my questions. Ryan Van Doom is out because of that, so I'm really sure the stewards will wait a moment. We'll have a big discussion about the driving maneuvers from VSL, sorry. Everyone is now on fresh tires. A little bit except for Mindful Wasp, who is on the oldest set of tires. It's only 4 laps, of course, but it's theoretically the oldest. And Shadow Lancer, who is up into 10th place, was a little bit unlucky with his strategy. He started on the hards, and his plan was of course to go really far into the race and hoping for a safety car there. But that didn't happen. It came earlier than he would have wanted. But he's moved on to the soft. But there is a lot more that will happen. So we'll be waiting for Cox, Dan, Hunter and Biff to rejoin. They are really close to each other, to be honest. Almost looks like a race at the back. Ryan Van Doom is out, and I'm sure he is pretty mad at what happened there. Safety car will stay out for one more lap, so at the end of lap 16 we will go away, almost at the halfway point. Paul goes to the pits for probably a medium tire. Yes, you will. He will be at the back, but he has the better race tire, I believe. Even though the soft is also a really good race tire. As his camera is stuck, but anyway. When Paul has returned to the back, we will get started. Waiting for the safety car to come in, and there we have the confirmation, so I'm just in time. Is now the leader, so he can choose when he wants to go. And let's see if it's going to be a clean one. Safety car is in, so we have actually green. And now we're going! We're now going for the restart! And we as well is looking hungry to take that first position and brakes as late as he can, but I'm just in time. Is defending, and I'm just in time, makes a mistake, drops all the way down to P4 and will be P5 as MB Design is overtaking him. So a costly mistake, but I'm just in time and has to do it all again. Sonnegaal, who took advantage of the safety car, is up to 7th place. As you see, side by side actually between the McLaren and the Williams, Shadowlands and Energy Dan. All Energy Dan. Who backs out of that one? That's really smart to do. It really has. Oh, almost got it. Oh, free wide! Oh my goodness me! And it was between Energy Dan, Shadowlands and Rob Williams. And Gox has now moved ahead. Maybe he was in the free wide. Wouldn't expect anyone else, to be honest. And there goes Energy Dan on that soft rubber up to P8, making fully use of that tire. I thought I had to knees, but that didn't happen. We now have a bit of calm before the storm, as VSL is taking a gap now of 1.5 second. Eric Slim currently in P2, in P3. Top 3 have currently 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. They were racing at a really high level, so track extending is quite easy to do. It's mindful was with dropping places. Oh gosh, go on, to go around the outside, but sorry for the language. Oh, side by side through the grass. He's still alive somehow. Oh, free wide! Whoa! Oh! And Hunter is out yet. That could not go. I can't speak. Sorry. We have a safety car again. So the gap we have so made is now completely away. So free wide going into that point. I would recommend it, but whoa! Some drivers behind had to take caution to not crash into the safety car. Our reserves have learned that by now from the game. So we have VSL in P1, of course. And he just did the perfect thing, safety car, the previous restart to go into the lead and make a gap. When he goes into the pits, VSL goes into the pits, so he gives up track position. But MB Design goes with him. Same goes for Sonnegaal. Oh, that's Really weird. So VSL goes to mediums. Goes away now. But just from first gets to 10th. I should have a great look through the Alpine box. Quite funny to see that for once. Being Sign is also in the pits, same for Sonica, Gox, Mindful Wasp and Rob Williams. So waiting for them, and then I think we will race again at the Sao Paulo track. Where I think we will see this week enough action with only GP3 and GP2 this week, as GP1 is finished since last week. So we only have the GP2, GP3, GP4 and GP5 left to show you. GP5 has just finished, so we can all focus on GP4. With Hunter rejoining the pack now, as he goes to the pits again. Maybe it goes for a set of softs that wouldn't be very weird to do. As you could try to get to the end, but it's 14 laps after this, so it's really possible, and he does it, so that could be a really smart move from Rob Williams. So as we see, Rob Williams has joined the pack, so we can then go racing at the end of this lap. Let's see how clean it is this time. Eric Slim is now our race leader. Well, since VSL did pit, so Eric Slim is now controlling the field. He can decide when he wants to go. And will we get a titanical battle between Slim and I, and maybe I'm just in time? Or can maybe Nettie be in the mix? We will see. Slim now goes away. That seemed like a perfect restart from their Marlin driver. As Energy then wants to take advantage of that, as I see a Ferrari and we on the VSL. Was close. And Paul goes back and he gives him a touch. And that's the second drive VSL is taken out. Paul is still in the race luckily, but also out. So VSL goes to 8th with a lot of contact, of course. Energy then does the perfect thing to overtake Nettie, but he gets out of shape. Going out of turn 5, 6, and moves up to P4. Gox is on the charts now, is up to P9. Catching Biff out a bit, and Unbeaten Sign goes with him. And Gox takes advantage and wants to overtake Dan. And then doing a good thing to stay behind. But now he has Unbeaten Sign on his rear. But also Sonica wants to make a move. And there goes Unbeaten Sign, who does make the move. Sonica up to P11. So P8 for Cox, P7 for VSL, who could be stuck right now. But I'm quite sure VSL is too aggressive. Oh, Sonic Alcohol moved up to the top 10, with Dan losing 2 places. Probably made a mistake at 4. I'm just in time to put on the ERS, switch it off and switch it on again. We will have DRS by now, as we are in the 3rd lap. So it's the reason we will make the move. I saw a move being made. That must be VSL will try it on Shadowlands. Here we have him, VSL. But then it got to 6. Oh, Eric Slim is looking like he's faster than Die at the moment. Oh! Oh, I'm just in time. Maybe gave Die a touch. So I'm just in time. Makes 2 mistakes after the pit stop. Who said Lance made a mistake? And here goes VSL out. Oh, also not touching the rear of Shadowlands. Luckily that this isn't without a taken out turn, let's say. Doesn't make the move by now. I'm just in time up to 9th. Overtaking. Sonic the 9th. So overtaking are just in time. No moves were made in here. Well, there are moves being made here. As I'm just in time, gets back to P9, overtaking Sonic and wants to refocus himself and try to get to the back of firstly the battle for 7th place. But the most important thing is that here we have Eric Slim, who was moved on a 2nd clear of Dyke 36. And he has the whole group behind him who will have DRS. VSL gets a time penalty for multiple warnings, as he wants to overtake Dennis Williams just in front of him. As Slim goes into the pits. Whoa! What is Slim doing? So he believes the beams can go to the end, and it gets to a set of softs. So, is he throwing the race away? As he doesn't score points if it finishes like this. But we have Die now being handed over to the lead of the race. With energy then on the quite old set of softs. Don't think he will get it to the end, but I'm sure he will try. As Rob Williams did set the fastest lap, so if he ends up with the points, he will get a position for that one. VSL. Oh, that he lost that. So VSL is back on the podium again. But now we're gonna have a battle on the hands. But also Gox now in the mix. And Echo Shadowlands around the outside, but Gox will make it. Didn't make it 3 wide, but wants to make 2 moves. Oh, what? VSL gave him a shoulder tap. Running side by side. Oh, that. This is just karma for VSL, and also Gox is playing a part in this. So safety car we have. For the 3rd time, After we started the race with Virgil, Nettie goes to the pits again. Eric Slim komt now. Is this what he wants? Is this what he wants? We'll have to take a look after that. We're gonna look at the front, what's going to happen. Oh, Energy then is suddenly into the lead. The V-pits is not really crazy. Shadowlancer stays out for some reason. Only a few are pitting, so Energy then, I'm just in time. Mindful Wasp and Dan are pitting. So we're gonna check where Eric Slim is gonna end up. I think it should be P6, but it will be close with Energy then. There we have him on screen. We just catch in front of him. Just catch in front of him. So 6 fish for Eric Slim. I'll get out of his onboard because he just has the gearbox glitch. So Dai is the only driver to have stayed out on the medium tire. You can go to the medium tire at the end, of course, but with those softer reds, or softer softs I have to say, reds is IndyCar, looking like to attack him as we have a Williams 1-2 at the moment. We shall land speed to we'll be surprised if he makes it to the end. 14 laps currently on the soft. That's really long and he's pretty much doing one stop. For now. One thing is for sure, we won't have Gox, the driver of the day, looking at the penalties. Dai, Eric Slim and Biff have time penalties, as Biff has 9 seconds. It's not gonna help him out. Looking at the position gains. And Shadowlands, of course, 13 positions up, 10 for Sonico and 7 for Biff, as we have a lot of retirements, of course. And with the fast lap for Rob Williams, 9.6. Safety car is coming in, so Dai can decide when he wants to go, and this will be the sprint to the finish line. And how much for the championship? Change, of course. Oh, there's already a collision at the back with Dan out. So now we are going. Dai is leading the field with unbeaten sign, looking hungry. With more hungry drivers also. I just don't know where I need to look at. Well, Mindful Wasp and Biff are battling side by side. Oh, Sonic was going really hot. And Eric Slim just needs to pass those drivers ahead of him really quickly. If he wants to make this strategy work, he wants to put it in there. And now he does it! But will it be enough? Rob Williams is on 5 lap all soft, but this should work out for him, and it works out. P5 it is for Alex Slim. He has a penalty of course, so he has to make as much of a gap to the drivers behind as he can, even though making a gap at Brazil is really difficult. Energy there moves up to 6 of Rob Williams, I think, a spun. Oh, he did spun and lost his front wing, I believe. No, he didn't. Unbeaten Sign moves up to P2 after overtaking Shadowlancer. After he maybe slowed down a bit to let Die make a gap. But Shadowlancer wants to show to Die he is a good teammate and wants to hold him up very big time. Now somehow made a mistake and Alex Slim is now up to 4th. And can the tires of Unbeaten Sign hold it out for 5 more laps? Alex Slim break so unbelievably late that he almost collided. But don't forget energy then. He might be in a shot for the podium. Oh, he gets a really good exit. No DRS of course by now. Oh, he wants some. that was quickly and could have ended up in a disaster. Oh, Shadowlancer is pushing him into the wall. That much he wants to defend. Oh, that was a touch. Shadowlancer has been put almost off track. But Alex Slim is at 3rd and has now Unbeaten Sign in front of him. And once he has overtaken Unbeaten Sign, he can try and focus on Die, of course. That was the track extending from Alex Slim. That isn't a second penalty yet, but if he keeps going like that, he will get one. Now he has a 2-second lead over Unbeaten Sign. But I think that will change as Alex Slim is now up the inside and moves up to P2. And will Energy then go with him? Not yet. Biff gets a 4th penalty. And he also spun. Probably contact made between, I think it's one of the Ferrari powered cars. Michael Wasp now moves up to 5th. And the softs are done for Shadowlancer, but he will try to go to the end. He will get points as Biff is a reserve. The reserve won't score points for the Drivers' Championship. Look how quickly that gap is closing. Unbelievable. So Alex Slim might take over the lead this lap. That sounds optimistic if you look by it now. Just look by the braking how much he closes in. Oh, there goes the train of the Aston Martin. There goes that train. Moves. Oh! Let's say he moves to the inside, but he didn't. Well, he did of course. But Die fights back. Oh! And he gets first position back. But now Alex, they're both on that DRS, so it's an old classic battle on this straight. And Alex Slim got it! Alex Slim got into P1 with Die loses out with 3 laps to go. And now also Dan is on the podium, and if he stays really close, he might get the win. But Unbeaten Sign could also be on the podium. Mindful Wasp is a different story, but P5 currently for him is unbelievable. As Paul and Sonic are close to each other. Paul should have the tire advantage. Energy Dan will have the DRS. That's really gonna help him out. If you look at him against Eric Slim. It will be difficult for Dai to stay on the podium like this. And I think Eric Slim has got this. If he doesn't pick up another penalty, then he will win the Brazilian Grand Prix. Mindful Wasp is really close to the rear of Embiid and Sign. The Alpines are really fast today, as we've seen with VSL, but also for Mindful Wasp. So they are really going well here. As Eric Slim has got this covered. And will Energy then get a on-track P2? Well, he will get it. Outside, and he gets it. Mindful Wasp. Not this time. Here goes Embiid inside of Mindful Wasp. Mindful Wasp to the inside, of course, and he gets P4. But Embiid inside, he's looking like to get a podium, but Mindful Wasp has 6 seconds worth of penalties. And Energy there is still into that penalty window. It will be really close. I think it's 3 seconds. Not really, but we will stay with Eric Slim, who will now go flat out, absolutely flat out, to try to win the race. It's really on the limit. It's really on the limit. Who's going to win? Energy Dan is in the 3 seconds. Not well. Not well. Eric Slim wins on track, but Energy Dan wins the race. Energy Dan wins the Brazilian Grand Prix, with Eric Slim finishing in second. 97 thousandths of the victory. Unbeaten Sign finishes third. Paul fourth. Didn't saw the standings anymore. But Dai finishes fifth, I see on my laptop. So, oh, that was a phenomenal end, with SFR Paul being the driver of the day. So here we have him, Energy Dan, winning the Brazilian Grand Prix. At the beginning of the race we didn't saw that happen. We thought it would be VSL, it will be just in time, Eric Slim of Dai 36. But no, it's the Mercedes of SFR Energy Dan who wins this dramatic Brazilian Grand Prix. We will try to talk about him, of course, but we will also do that to Eric Slim and to Unbeaten Sign, who will be back on the podium. One time through the results, we have Energy Dan, Eric Slim in second. Third is Unbeaten Sign. Fourth is Paul from 18th to 4th. What a race. Dai is 5th. Sonic 6, Mindful was 7th. I'm just in time 8th. Shadowlands in 9th. Rob Williams gets a point home. Biff is 11th. Our reserves and then the retirements. Dan, Gox, VSL, Matty, Hunter, Ryan Van Doom, MCFC, Potch and Orioles didn't even go to the first corner. I will invite the top 3, so I'll be back in a minute. I did invite the top 3 and we will go for the first time, I think it is this season, to show the Mercedes car. Up to the showroom we will go. F121 we still have, of course. And this is your winning car, the Mercedes AMG Petronas V12, I believe it is. As we will have our race winner here, SFR Energy Dan. That final lap, talk us through it all.
God, I knew Di was on old mediums because I passed him just before the safety car came out. So I knew he was going to stay out and try and take track position. So then, yeah, I thought that, I may as well come in for softs. It dropped me down to, I think it was P6. And yeah, I've got a little bit of pace at the minute because I'm driving with an injury, so I've had to go and use auto gears. And because I'm using auto gears, I can manipulate the engine. So yeah, it's probably a bit of a bittersweet moment. It's not normally my pace, I'm normally a lot slower than this, but yeah, it's the assist seems to be helping at the minute. But yeah, that lap was, I did quite a few good overtakes actually. I got one on Rob Williams coming through sector 2. He left the door open, so I went round the outside, and yeah, I just don't think he expected me to be there. We kind of just made it through alive, but yeah, I think that is probably the highlight of my season. It was such a fun race. But I just want to say a public apology to Podge. I hit the back of him. Everyone just ganged up, basically stationary at the last turn when the virtual safety car first came out. It was literally everyone just stationary at the corner, and I couldn't do nothing to avoid him. I tried to go right to the left, but yeah, so sorry to Podge for that. But yeah, it was an epic race. I think it's going to be busy in the stewards, a couple of spins here and there from people, but yeah, we'll see what happens next week. I've got some good tracks coming up. I do like the tracks. So yeah, we'll see what happens, mate.
I haven't got the clue what the next track is, but I'm quite sure you going with a happy feeling going into next week and getting those 25 really deserved points.
Cheers, mate. Much needed.
It really is, and we will now move on to our second place, which is Eric Slim.
Good evening.
Good evening. You just lost it at the very end by 97 thousandths of a second, but still brought very good points home in terms of your championship against Die 36. Tell us how that race went and also your feeling after the final lap.
That's a really weird race, honestly. Yeah, just weird from start to finish, just weird. I don't know what to say. I feel bad for Hunter getting taken out like every week now. Yeah, happy to get more points than Die. That's basically it. Just a weird race, I don't know what to say.
And that lap 26 time lapse before the end, you decided from being in first position to pit for a new set of soft, and were you comfortable that you could make it a good round and finish on the podium again?
Yeah, well, it was part of my strategy from the beginning, so I don't really know what everyone else was doing. I actually have no idea. I don't understand why I didn't pit. I thought it was the like the fastest strategy, or like there was no question about it, but apparently he knows something that I don't.
You were really the fastest on that final sprint to the end, but you just missed out on that one. But you have done a really good race, and that's really important for your championship at the minute.
Yeah. And GG's to Dan for the win.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot, bud.
And we will now move on to the driver in third position, which is the McLaren of Unbeaten Sign. it's been a very long time and Biedenstein has been on the podium with us, so he is back again after a really crazy race. So tell us how your race went, Biedenstein.
Well, I screwed over my qualifying, invalidated on my first lap at the end, so I started on quite long tyres and just got lucky on someone getting a grid penalty. I don't know why, but got quite a good start. Just focused on not getting penalties, just helped me out at the end.
Yes, you did, and I also saw you in qualifying doing a run on the intermediates when it was dry. What was the thinking about that?
That's why not?
It was really funny to see when I was talking just through the standings and all the stuff, and I saw just you running on inters. By the way, this is a really good result for you. As your teammate didn't really even got to turn one, fortunately. So you brought really good points home for the team today.
Yeah. I think my teammate got caught up in a crash at the start, which I'm quite unlucky.
Yeah, you,
He said he was confident at the track, but then got unlucky at the start.
yeah, and Biedenstein got I'm just in time got out of shape, and he touched also Hunter, and then Hunter I think collided with your teammate who was out. So that was really unfortunate. But as always next week, where they can try and have a good race like we had today. So this was the GP4 race at Brazil, where we had a surprising winner. I think the closest finish we have ever had this season. But I will remind you, we'll have tomorrow the GP3 division, and on Wednesday the GP2 division at the same track and also the same time. So we will be back with you next week, and hopefully check us out tomorrow and Wednesday for our GP3 and GP2 division. So have a good night, everyone.